Alright, so I'm here doing this video on my winter and summer gear loadout. What I'm trying to do is, well, I've been asked before about like what I would take between my winter and my summer trips. Well, I laid all my most important stuff down, and we'll get through everything. In the winter time, right now I have a trip that I'm doing this Friday, winter camping trip. I'll be doing two different things this trip. One, camping by a lake up at 98,000 feet, or 9,800 feet, and I'll be bringing a sled with me. So, alright, let's go through everything. In my winter trips, we'll get through clothes first. Okay, in my winter time, I will bring my fleece jacket. This is my REI fleece coat. Thing keeps me pretty warm. I would take it during the summertime too, just because I enjoy wearing it at night. If it gets really cold, I'll wear this under here. This is my Dub snowboarding jacket. And I've had this thing for a number of years, and I've enjoyed it ever since. It has kept me warm in some pretty cold times, and it still doesn't fail me. This is more like my rain jacket. Thing keeps me dry. I've worn this before when it's been pouring outside, and it hasn't failed me yet. I don't think I could really tell you the brand of coat it is. It's a Nordic Track, if I'm saying that right. It's really a great coat. For my pants, these are my REI pants. These are my nylon pants, and they do pretty well to keep me dry. I've taken them out in the desert on my last trip when it got really cold outside. I wanted to try something new and test them to see how well they did. I just put some long johns underneath, and then now during the winter time, I'll take my snow pants. These things have worked really well, and I have enjoyed them since. They're called Salon. Not a bad brand. They do keep me dry though. I carry an undershirt and my long johns. Socks, like my fleece socks, they keep me warm. I do bring a couple of pairs, and I'll even take these during the summertime. Now I got my fleece gloves, my North Face, and I actually got to play around with them yesterday after a big snowstorm. Went sledding for all day, and that was a pretty fun experience. My regular gloves, I can't really say what kind they are, but I got them for Christmas a while back, and I've kept them since because they do really well. My beanies, I always take a beanie with me, even during the summertime. especially at night, because at some parts where I'm at, it can get really cold. I don't always. Some trips I will take my snow goggles, depending. It can get really windy and that snow will just blow around in your eyes. And for the backpack that I'm using on this trip, is my Field and Stream. My memory serves me right, I'm pretty sure it's a 60 liter. It does really great. I've put a lot of weight onto this thing and it is not showing me wrong yet. It has no sign of wear and tear yet, and I've taken this thing out on a lot of trips already. And I've put it through hell and back, and it still shows me pretty well. I really like it. For sleeping bags, I will take my Alpine Swiss Sport mummy bag. It's rated for -15, so it does really good during the cold weather. It has served me well. I really do like it. I usually take a second one with me. This is my mummy bag. This is my Alpine bag, and it's only good for 45, but sometimes in harsh situations, my last trip I actually stuck this over my -15 and it served me well. Sleepware. This I will always take with me on any trip I go on, regardless if it's summer, spring, or winter time. I got my Thermarest sleeping pad, and I got my foam pad. I always do carry a pillow. I like to sleep pretty comfortable. So, and keeping my head right does me good. I know it shares extra weight, but it does me fine. The tarp. I always take a tarp. This is a cheap little tarp I got at like Walmart. Like $10, I think. And it's nice because it folds down in this little sack and it really doesn't weigh much. My dry sack, I will always take this with me, especially during the winter time. This is my SOL bivy. It's an emergency, but if it gets really cold during this trip, then this is what I'm going to be putting into my sleeping bag. Because I was told the weather says that it's going to get pretty cold. For cooking, now, depending on what I feel like cooking, what I'm going to make, is what I'm going to take. So, this is all my different cooking stuff. This is my light and fire combo spoon and fork. This is my Sea to Summit titanium spoon. And I always do take this with me because it's nice to help keep things dry, a pack towel. And I really enjoy it. This is something I just picked up, an REI mug, and I used to want to replace my last one because my last one didn't have a lid, and it was just an older version. I wanted something to keep me like for cold times. I can make hot chocolate and I don't have to worry about debris getting in there. This is something else I'm gonna take during the winter time. So this is my Nalgene water bottle cover or sleeve, whatever it is you want to call it, but that's going to serve me well on this trip, especially when temperatures start getting really cold. My water doesn't freeze. I do sometimes take this, an emergency stove, just in case mine were to fail, which I've already had that happen before. I was using a high-tech stove, and I don't know, one trip it just decided to stop working. So what I went ahead and did is I upgraded. I went and got the MSIR Pocket Rocket, and everything I've heard about it, I've gotten to borrow one before from a friend, and I really loved it. It got really cold on this trip, and it just kept going and didn't show no signs of stopping, so I highly recommend it. And of course, got to take butane. Depending on how many days I'm going for is how many of these I'm going to take. I keep a big one and a smaller one. Sometimes I get bigger ones if I'm going for longer. I'll be going for a few days on this trip, so that's probably going to serve me well. Now, I know everybody has their own special way of starting a fire, but I always take these things just in case. Yeah, they got a little weight behind them, but sometimes in situations when you're having a tough time getting a fire going and everything else fails, this has always helped me come through. Sometimes I'll use that. I'll combine it with my cotton balls, use flint and steel. This is my fire bag. Has everything I need to help start a fire. I got waterproof matches. I also keep hand warmers in there. And my flint and steel. I don't use a special model, but it does pretty well. And I like to take paracord with me. It does, this stuff is just awesome in many ways. Everyone knows that. Now I'm going to get on to, oh yeah, I also take my cat-o'-nine water filter. Not every trip, but if there's going to be a water resource around me and I didn't bring enough water, I will definitely take this with, but most times, no, it doesn't come with me much. Normally I'm not camping by water. The tent, my Go Light Eden 2, which I will show up some videos for that. It is a great tent. I love it all around. It's worked well last winter. It worked well during when I got rained on forever. I really enjoy it. It's not a 4-season tent, but it is for me. And it does really good in ventilation. I'll get a review about this one of these days. I do take this. I know it adds a little weight, but I do like to keep my tent clean. And this is what I will take during the winter time for this. Depending on how much snow is up there. Where we're headed, we're talking about a lot of snow. So I'm going to take my REI snow stakes. These things I'm excited to use. I just picked those up for this trip, and I'm looking forward to probably many adventures with them. I do take a GPS with me. Pretty much most of the time, even when I do day hikes. Sometimes I'm hiking a new trail, and it serves me pretty well. It keeps its signal pretty well, and it keeps me going. This is a map where I'm headed. And that'll serve me well with that. Just in case. Gotta have both, because if this fails me, then the map comes in. The compass I have too, but that's in another product, which we'll get to. For boots, now, yes, your system's gonna change. For the winter time, I will take my North Face winter boots. These are rated for negative, I think, 25. I haven't got a chance to use them in really cold conditions yet, but so far they keep my feet pretty warm and dry. So I'm looking forward to using those during the summertime now. And any other hike, I take my high-tech boots with me. These things have served me well in trips and backpacking adventures and everything I've ever done outdoors. They do well. Alright, now to my other winter stuff. I got my snowshoes that I'll be taking with me. These are my tubs. They have worked really well. When I bought them, the guys told me he didn't think they work well with backpacking, but after taking it out on a trip and carrying about 80 pounds on me, they still work pretty well. This is my snow shovel. That's my lifeline. That thing has worked really well. I picked that up over at Sports Authority last year, and it's come on me usually when the snow comes, and I really enjoy. Now this is our newest thing. This is our tow sled, or my tow sled. It's a Jet Sled Junior, and is going on this trip. There's enough snow to pull this thing, so I'm going to be able to take extra things with me. I probably have a buddy going with me, so it'll serve well for putting our extra stuff in there and hauling it. Maybe I'll talk about it. It's the first time we'll get to use it. We bought it last year around springtime, and we wanted to replace the one that we used last year, so we ended up finding about this and picking up on this, and with the lack of snow we've seen this year, yeah, there's been no way to use this. That's why we're going where it's really deep, and it'll serve its purpose well. And alright, now my knives. This I just picked up. I'm going to test this out for this trip. This is my Elk Ridge little knife. It's pretty nice. I sharpened it really, so it's pretty sharp. Can't wait to see how well it works. This was one of my first knives that I used to take with me, and it worked really well for a while, and then I liked the sheath in it, but just one day it decided to break out on me. So I replaced it with my Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife, and I need to do a video about that because I love this knife. I have put this knife through so much hell, and in the time that I have had it, and for what it's gone through, it shows no sign of wearing down. That thing has helped me split wood. It has helped cut things for me. It's been my favorite tool for a long while. I do carry different knives with me as for the pocket. This is my Humvee knife. This thing does really well. It's really sharp. I've had this thing for quite some time, and it's just a great knife to have. It was like a cheap little knife too, which is surprising, and it's helped do me some well. Then I carry my Columbia multi-tool little pocket, but I always carry that and my little mini Leatherman. Alright, now for tools, I used to take the axe with me, and after the weight and everything, I was just like, ugh, I want to simmer down. I might take it with me on this trip just because we're using a sled. That's my Gerber axe. This thing has done some well. I've put that thing through some pretty intense hell already, and I just love it all around. My saw is my Husky saw. It's a 16-inch blade. It does, depending, yeah, it comes with me most trips. It's definitely coming on this one. But I do enjoy it. Moving over here, I do take this with me. It doesn't come on every trip, but I've seen this before, the jammy pack. It's just great to have, and it really doesn't weigh anything. I mean, maybe a few ounces, that's about it. And for everything else is somewhere else. So there you have it. This is everything that between my winter and summer loadout. It will change, and as things get better, it's always nice to keep upgrading, but I highly recommend you get really good things because it'll serve you well, and you want things to last you and not break. Oh yeah, there's one thing I forgot. I do take trekking poles with me. Not always, but sometimes. There's just some outdoor products, trekking poles. I don't know. They've done me pretty well. And my GSI bench, or little chair, and that thing is, it'll probably come with me because I like somewhere to sit. I have another one. It's a smaller version of it, but depending, yes. But there you have it. There's my video on what I would take. I'm sure there's stuff that I forgot, and maybe I'll get back to that. Well, thanks.